Hey, how's it going? It's me again. I'm back with the wrap-up of this video, I guess you could say. So, here we are. I said I was going to continue this one, and I did. I held up my end of the bargain, so here we are. Hope you guys are enjoying this one. I kind of like how it's starting to look. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I'm just going to fill in a nice background, and then we'll start messing with the colors. Get everything at a base tone. Now my brush is working good again. I don't know what was going on with it yesterday. It was acting weird. Okay, sorry, I forgot that I was even making a video. So I'm doing good. How are you guys doing? And go ahead and leave that in the comments if you're watching. Anyways, so I just wanted to finish this painting a lot because I started to really enjoy it, and I figured that I don't really have a lot of finished artwork of just like one main guy and stuff like that. So I was like, I might as well do something different and finish something. I finished stuff, it's just, if I'm not too interested in it, then it's probably not going to get done. But now it's like, I have a cool looking guy, and I don't know why not to continue this one, so it's like, I'm definitely going to continue this one. So, giving him some little horns. And yeah, so that's about it for what I'm doing. I guess today we can talk about proper, stress of a canvas and stuff like that, like conveying emotion and stuff, and flow, and I talked a little bit about it yesterday, and it was more about just your line work and how you should let things have energy, So I guess this will be more around painting and how to kind of capture that nice look of energy and flow inside of painting. And that's probably what this one's going to be about today. So what I'm doing is I'm adding a lot of different flesh tones and really giving this piece diversity, I want to say, the best way to put it. And it's looking decent, it's starting to have a really nice build to it, and that's mainly because I just started out so loose, and to me it conveys really good energy. You guys may think differently, that's fine, but I feel like it really has a nice look to it, and it really it's really starting to take good form and shape. Let's turn that off. But yeah, that's what we're going to talk about a little bit today, is how to get good, proper, stress of your paintings and stuff, and how to make them look like there's a lot going on, but there's still a main focus. Because the thing that I had a lot of trouble with was controlling, or not controlling, but showing my contrast. I have a hard time with that, like what's the main focus and all that jazz. So yeah, that's what we're doing. And I can even learn from this one because I'm still learning on composition and learning how it works and how important it is, and it's very important in a painting to have good composition. Just always keep that in mind. If you have good composition, it conveys an emotion way better than other things. So it's really good to have it in most of your paintings. And then I also want to talk about colors and like relatable colors and stuff like that, and kind of keeping your palette a little bit in the same color zones. Obviously, I didn't do that for skin because skin tone varies, and I think it looks better if it's not all just one color. So we'll talk a little bit about palette and how proper use. So let's just get right into it. I want to say that you should always have a key way to look at your character when you're doing composition, whether that be you're using rule of thirds, which is these whatever the rule of thirds, and my guy's in the third quarter of the painting, which conveys that he is somewhat the subject, and the background can also be part of the subject. And working on subjects and composition, you really got to have a purpose for your paintings. I mean, it's fine if you really don't care, but if you want it to affect people and how they think, focus on how you picture the environment and how you use coloring, lighting, distortion, and so on to affect that painting and the environment. Are you blurring anything out in the environment to mark a key subject of what's going on? Or are you kind of letting everything look the same and not really showing depth or anything that really does matter in a painting? And just little things like that can go a long way and really progress your learning of artwork. And composition is still one of the things that many artists still have trouble with, so don't feel bad about it, if you're still struggling on it. I mean, I'm still struggling on it. There's, it's hard to think about everything, but once you start to do it, it gets easier. And, because I'm constantly thinking about, what's the point of this, and then what's, stuff that you should probably think about before you really start laying down the paint, And I'll admit, I don't do it all the time because, like, right now, this was just to mess around and it turned out to something else. But I'm starting to make him the focus in the composition. I'm starting to build it in as I go along to kind of show this character as something important, or, like something's going on. So, I mean, that's just a rule of thumb. So, yeah. Working on composition. I'm not very good at it, so I have a hard time explaining a lot of this composition stuff. There's people that go over it way better, like Jazza, and he's actually the one that helped me with composition, as I watched a whole bunch of his videos and kind of understood composition a lot better than what I did before. Mainly when you do composition, try to find a focus, and try to find something that you want to focus on. Don't just make it about everything. Like, if I have a character, back here, I don't want to make him the main focus if I'm trying to focus on this guy. Like, try to figure out who's the most important characters in your scene. It's okay to have people in your background, and like watching to see what he's doing, or as long as they're emphasizing or acknowledging this behemoth in the room, as long as they're acknowledging what's going on, that's another way to show composition, is that you're really making a point. You're not just, like, oh, well, everyone in the environment's important, and, this is all that you need to see. And don't get me wrong, maybe you could pull that off, but other people would maybe not enjoy it as much. And again, art is subjective, so, I mean, you gotta find a mid ground with everyone, but, yeah, a good way to do composition is to really point out the elephant in the room, I guess, is how I look at it. And that's kind of just how I go by it. Always trying to emphasize on what's important in my photo or my picture and my painting, I guess I should say. That sounds better. Is that who's the important person? If I have a mountain in the background and there's this gigantic mountain, and I got a whole bunch of other little mountains, is that the main focus of this piece? No, because I've already drawn too much attention to this guy. So for me to grab, this mountain and make it into something bigger, like, oh, well, this is the main focus, I want that to be the main focus, I should turn this guy around and let him face towards the mountain, like, give him an epic stance where he's looking towards the mountain, and then that makes the mountain the focus point. Like, even if this guy was in the photo, we still got that rule of thirds going, which is this, and this is in the left corner of the central, or whatever. I don't know how to explain rule of thirds. In my mind it works, but other people get it a lot better than me. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that if you're trying to emphasize something, base it on your environment. Like, have the environment interact with it to show that it's important. Unless you're trying to demonstrate a city, show people in the environment working with the city. I guess is the best way that I can really explain it. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, is that always try to emphasize stuff in the environment that you really want. Or, composition is about showing what you want the viewer to see and letting them focus on that. And it's also a good way to show depth, feeling, and pretty much anything really. Depth is not depth. I can't say depth very well. It's kind of important to show if you really want to convey a lot of emotion in your artwork and all that stuff. So yeah, what I'm doing now is just kind of making this cape look a little bit destroyed, I guess, and flaky. I guess we can get on the palette now that I'm done rambling about the other one, composition. So palette, it's kind of hard to explain too, but I guess I can explain it pretty simply. Like, here's one color. Yeah, let's grab the redder one. And now let's grab a skin tone. So these are my three main colors that I'm using for my character, is these three colors. So using these three colors, I'm not expanding anything. I'm not forcing the viewer to look at a million different colors. If I really break it down, there are a lot of colors in this piece. That's a different skin tone. That's a different skin tone. This is a different skin tone. But I'm soliding it out to this one. And what I'm trying to show is that try to keep your painting somewhat simple. Don't force the viewer to do complex things just to figure out what you're trying to show. Draw them in, and the good way to draw them in is keeping it simple. People like simple things. They don't stuff that confuses them, they don't look at for very long because it's confusing. That's like optical illusions. You try to figure them out, but after a while, you're just going to stop looking at it because it's annoying and there's just way too much going on. So when you're painting, try to keep it simple and try to draw your viewer in. Some of the most effective paintings in the world are simple. There's not much to them. And that's just a good rule of thumb. I mean, there's nothing wrong with getting a complex drawing. I'm not saying detail is bad or anything. I'm just saying for some people, it's easier for them to focus on the little things than it is for them to focus on everything. It's okay to use a lot of colors, but most artists only use few colors. They don't really, like QBrush for most of his artwork. He doesn't use it. He uses a 3-palette color scheme, to vary the environments and stuff like that. Like he doesn't focus a lot on using a million colors to just show one thing. And that's a lot of, this is just a personal thing. I feel that when you use less colors and you kind of keep everything within the same boundaries, it pulls the piece together a lot better. Like same with, I have a lot of contrasting colors. I have orange that, is against the blue, and red, and red and tan are kind of complementary colors. I'm working with the environment that I have to make it feel interesting and make it pop. That's just a rule of thumb. And create things that really draw the viewer in. Because I've done paintings like this where I've used a lot of different colors and a lot of different, everything, and it never turned out as good, and it never felt decent, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It felt slobbed together, I guess. I just felt like it always could be better. But when I do paintings like this where there's a lot of, there's a contrasting color and then there's complementary colors, but I keep my palette small and I'm not worried about having to put a lot of colors and stuff into a painting, it works a lot better for me. And I feel like it looks a lot better. Like I said, it's a personal thing. Some people would highly disagree with this. It's using more color shows, vibrance and stuff like that. And I guess it could if you're very strict with how you use it. But lazy artists like me, it's not like that, So here we got is, the cape is kind of in the foreground, as it's closer to us, but as it goes away, it loses its color. I should make it a little bit more red, but it kind of has a red tint to it. Go back to the blend tool and blend that in, because that's annoying. This one. And there we go. I'm starting to make an interesting painting. I'm gonna get rid of this strand. And I guess what I'm trying to entice or show you guys is that there's nothing wrong with using a lot of colors, but try to keep it in a balance of, in a way that complements the piece, which this goes hand in hand with composition. Try to use things that complement your character, your environment, instead of making it break up a lot. When I'm using oranges and I'm using purples, yeah, it may somewhat look okay. They're close in the color wheel, but it's just not going to feel as right as, jumping across and causing the viewer to, see those different colors. It's like the Broncos outfit. It's blue and orange. They're contrasting colors, but it looks nice. I'm not a big Bronco fan, but and a lot of things do that. Except for the Seattle Seahawks, they don't do that. They do like blue and then green's over here. But it's all about the artist and how you feel about colors. And if you've got composition down, that's great. There's always something to learn in art, though. So yeah, that's just always something to keep in mind, is that there's always going to be something to learn. And you can't, eventually you'll be at a state where you really enjoy your work, and that's going to be great. That's going to be amazing for you. And I'm finally starting to get to a place where I'm enjoying my artwork more than anything. It's starting to look good. And sorry if I get quiet. I'm really trying to think about the muscles. I know that the shoulder muscle is a little too big. I don't really know how I'm supposed to shrink it down, though. And I know that this should go up a little bit, up. But I have the shadow of his cape casting. And I have the lighting coming from this angle, so it's coming down. I may have messed up a little bit with my lighting. See, I really need to work on lighting. I think I said that in previous videos, that my lighting is not too good. And, that's all I ever watch videos on, is lighting. But my lighting should be coming from an angle over here and hitting it. So I'm going to get rid of all these dark spots and add the light in. But cloth does have a lot of folds in it, so that's why I'm using dark colors to emphasize the folds, because cloth folds a lot. That's a good way to do, it's a good rule of thumb to do when you're doing clothes, is that leather doesn't fold a lot. The harder your clothes are, the less folds it's going to have. So when you're working with soft materials, try to give it a lot of flow and wrinkles and stuff like that, because it's going to make it look like it has a lot of motion. And then some clothes, obviously, like I said, leather, one of the heavier, stuff like that, versus like cloth. And then there's also like nylons that stick and kind of don't have that, they're really tight, so that's a different thing to worry about. But it also wrinkles very easily, depending on the nylon, because there's different types of nylon. Stuff like that to take in mind. Know the fabric you're working with when you're creating a character. I mean, it's not too important, if you really just want him to have a certain look, I guess, then sure, but it's going to change his overall cloth and look of the character, So if you're going for this badass and he's wearing a leather jacket that just has a bunch of folds in it, it's just not, I don't know, it's not going to really look like a leather jacket, And I'm picking up my Mad Max case to look at it, because even his leather jacket doesn't have a lot of folds, and if it does, they're heavy folds, you can see them. But yeah, just something to keep in mind, is that cloth folds very oddly, and so it's just a good thing to know, is when you're working with your cloth, it's going to have a lot of folds because it's a soft material, and soft materials crumble. There's that ball thing and then here's your cloth. Well, as that cloth falls, you know, if this was cloth, it would land on it, and it's gonna flop down with a lot of folds in it, you know, because it's cloth. It's soft. It's a soft material. It's not a hard one. And then you'd get all these folds, you know, throughout your thing. And then say if it were something else like leather. Oops, not see. If it was like leather, it wouldn't fold as much. It would just kind of like, it would sit on it. I mean, yeah, it'd still have some folds in it, but not as heavy as cloth. I think Draw with Jazza does a really good job of, he explains it really good, and a lot of art books do too. I'm sorry if that's not what you want to hear, but I did say this was a learning channel. It's gonna be studying on how the person improves, I guess you could say, and how interesting this will be this whole time through. I feel like I'm already getting better. I looked at some of my older videos and they're just trash. You know, maybe eventually if I think that I'm good enough, I'll definitely do how to draws and stuff like that. But at this point in time, I'm definitely not good enough to do stuff like that. You know, even my skills when I'm telling you guys how to like do composition and stuff isn't very strong. Because in my mind, I know what I'm looking for, and I know how to explain it. But when I try and explain it, I do an awful job at it. Sucks because I'm trying to be a teacher, you know. So I have a lot of learning to do, but I'm gonna get there. Let's just give these more dynamic folds that kind of go with the wind. I don't want to break up the flow of what I have going. That's what kind of bummed me out when I looked at the lighting. I'm like, oh, this is off. Is that I had some nice folds going, and I was happy with it. But now I'm kind of messing with them, and I'm not too happy with them. Especially up here, I really don't like what's going on up here. But I'll figure it out. I haven't been keeping track of how far I'm going. I feel like this has been a longer video, but I think I'm going to add in some other things before I finish. So, is this one that you can paint with? Nope, it just drags. Okay, so it drags. Okay, I'm done messing with that thing. Oh, wow, that's terrifying. It's kind of cool, though. So, Corel Painter has these effects pens and stuff like this. Like, they're kind of cool, like glow and stuff like that. They're just kind of, I don't know, they're pretty cool. When you get like red, it makes, oh, maybe it doesn't. I guess it kind of changes the color, not very well. Oh, it does it good on that though. Let's see. It's kind of cool how it gives certain things an effect. So if I were to do orange, and then I'd really brighten up the orange, it gives his head like this cool glow. I don't know. I'm gonna mess around with that. Maybe I'll do like a Star Wars piece or something. But yeah, I'm gonna add some of that red in there to kind of show the sunlight bouncing off of it. Give it a nice, not too much of a glow, because we don't want to overboard this, or else it just gets annoying throughout the piece. You know, you never want to go too overboard with something, because it just annoys. It's annoying. It makes it lose its flavor. So you kind of want to just keep that in mind when you're working with it. But let's go through a couple more of these real quick. There's the fog jet. I already looked at that one. It's kind of weird. I don't really know how to feel about that one. I mean, I guess it could be really cool, but let's check out this one. What's this one do? Oh, that's kind of cool. That could be a cool effect. I like messing with this stuff because I don't mess with it a lot. But hairspray? Oh. Give him some hairspray. Hurricane. Oh no. Oh, that could be cool though. Oh man. Some Doctor Strange. Oh, it's pulling off the background. That's kind of cool, actually. I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of cool. I kind of like that. It kind of doesn't look bad. Yeah, I kind of like it. It kind of grows on you. Maybe that's bad, but it does kind of grow on me. Oh, these ones are annoying. It just looks disgusting. Huh, why isn't it working? Brush. I'm confused. I must have hit something. Oh, it's on a different layer. Oh, dang it. Dang it. Oh, let's go back. Go back and do the hurricane one again. Oh, I just don't like it as much now. Looked way cooler last time. Okay, that looks like a little foot, you see it? It has this little foot. There we go, that looks kind of decent actually. I like how it distorts. Oh, there's a piece of freaking. Oh man, nuggets. Okay, I'll fix it. Oh yeah, this does the triangles. That's kind of cool. Makes it look like glass, I guess. So if I do that around here, yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that one a lot. Just kind of breaks up the piece a little bit. Yeah, I kind of like it how it breaks up the piece. And maybe we'll make this side look like he's, like stuff is breaking apart. And, I like how it brings that white over. Wish I could get it to come a little bit more over. Maybe if I switch brushes and, but look at these leaves. Isn't that annoying? That looks disgusting. I guess it could look cool if you were I don't know, I guess if you were photoshopping something or making your character look like he has leaves all over him. If you get really light, it doesn't even, I don't know. It's kind of cool to watch though. If you really wanted to get in depth and make your character look cool with these all leafy stuff, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, the effects brush are kind of cool. Now I'm going to work on the background a little bit before I wrap this up. I'm going to give it some different, Then we're going to go back to that brush and see what we can do with it. Effects on the sharp one. Try to make it look like it's just kind of falling apart over here. Maybe it doesn't look that good. I thought it looked better. Sorry guys, I messed up. Yeah, I kind of like it up there though. I just think it looks kind of cool. I like how it makes the skin kind of pop. Like it's coming out of him. Oh, it put one in his eye. A shard. Alright, well, I wonder what I can do for the background. Kind of make it looking. I kind of like the simplicity of it, but I know that some people don't like that. Maybe I'll just leave it simple because I really enjoy this one and how it looks. So. I really like how this turned out though. I don't say that a lot. These look nice. What do you guys think? Nope, doesn't look good. Oh, sponges. I have sponges. Sponges are always good to... Oh, that's a distortion sponge. Okay. Get these and give them a lot of, a lot of textures, and then you go back through, and then you hit it with the blue. Hit it with some dark blue, and it still doesn't look good, but that's okay. Sometimes sponges work out in your advantage, sometimes they don't. A glazing sponge. It's like oil paint stuff. Guess I don't understand what that's trying to do. Pattern pens. What are these? Oh, no. You like... Oh, man. Those are like flowers. That's crazy looking. Man. I don't like that. No. It's like scarier than the effects. Pastels, chalk, concept art pen. I think that's what that said. Carl gets it. Alright, well, I think that's going to be it then. I like how it looks. I was just going to do something for the viewers, but I think it looks good. I'm going to save it, and I'll probably post it on my Facebook. So, I really like this one. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great day, and yeah, thanks for watching.